Hello, traders. Good morning. Welcome to this live webinar with Elite Currency. My name is Svorcik. Thanks for joining. We're going to take a look on this 21st of March, 2024 at simply at the charts and some technical analysis. Okay, going to keep it focused on euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, Bitcoin, and some stock indices, plus some other Forex currency crosses. Okay. Oh, there we go. And of course, how you can join our managed accounts or trade our automated trading systems. All of that will become clear. Last month, just a quick update. We had a good month. All of the systems were in profit, all 7 showing positive months in February. Of course, we'll have an update about March 2024 in 2 weeks on the 4th of April, I think, and we'll discuss what the March results ended up being. As of 5th of March, you can see that flagship Athene, the number 1 and 2 at the moment in terms of total return over the months and years. But Cronus and Hades are making a nice start with 38 and 47%. Portfolio is, in the meantime, managed in 7 figures. My personal balance is more than $500 million. Here's one of those performances of one of the accounts that I am trading. And all of that you can join flagship or the managed accounts. Just go to our website, elitecurrency.com. Best if you want to join flagship is to write us an email at info@elitecurrency.com, and we'll explain everything to you how you can join. It's much easier if you reach out to us through email. Okay, so I recommend that. But if you're interested in just trading an EA, you can also rent that through our website. That's perfectly fine as well. Okay. That said, let's kick off with the charts and take a look at some of these. There we go. All right, let's start with the euro dollar. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out. And well, euro dollar, messy, I guess, going sideways in this tight range. And it's been here since we reached this new zone end of 2022, 1 year and 4 months now, and has been bouncing back and forth between 104.50 and 112.50. Although that was just briefly, most of the price action, as you can see, has been between 106 and 110.50. So about 450 pip band. They're going sideways in that time. And to me, it seems like price could break to both directions. Although I'm leaning towards eventually a bearish breakout still to go a little bit lower to make that final kind of A, B, C correction. But I'm keeping an eye on both variations. This particular downside has been quite strong. So I do think that it's probably will likely break out, but we don't know when, because this could be some type of triangle with an A, a B, a down for C, up for D, and then sorry, the other way around, A, B, C, D, E. That would be an upside triangle actually. So this would have to be a B, a C, a D, and a E, and then down again. If that is the case, if this is the downswing, and then a triangle has started, that could take a while. Alternatively, if it's what I said at the beginning, if this is an A of the triangle, it could break to the upside, of course. So the triangle could explain both a bullish and a bearish break. In that case, the triangle will last long, because triangles typically do. That's why they're triangles. They're lengthy, and they bounce back and forth off of the highs and lows. But it will last a little bit shorter because, of course, we have one less leg to deal with. In that case, this will be A, as I mentioned at the beginning, A, B, C, D, E, and up it goes. So has this A or this A, either this is an A, B, or this is an A. That seems completed. Question is, has this swing been completed? And I don't think so. Because if we put a fib from here to here, it reached the 78.6, almost 88.6 fib. That is probably a completed leg. But if we put the fib from here to here, we see that the price has bounced at the 61.8 fib. That is too shallow for triangle, so price could hit the 78 and bounce again up. So I would say if it breaks above the top, it's a bullish breakout, but if it breaks below the bottom, it's not necessarily a bearish breakout because it could still bounce at the 78.6 fib. So if we break below these support trend lines, we have to be careful, in my view. I have to be careful because the target could be simply the 78.6 fib around 106, and it could bounce back up, and it could complete wave C or B, depending if this is a bullish or bearish triangle, and bounce up again to the 78.6 fib in 3 waves, probably. Alternatively, if this does break to the upside, it could still be part of an A, B, C. In that case, I would put the fib from here to here, and we're looking at a bounce potential at 110.44 and 110.88, or move down to 106. So the bullish breakout could be interesting, but it's a short play. It's a short move. Same for the bearish breakout. It's a short move, short play, down to 106. Okay. I personally leaning towards a bearish breakout at the moment, towards that 106 area. So let's take a look at the other time frames now. Weekly candle has been bearish last week. Monthly candles are bearish. Let's see. Daily testing the 21 EMA. And there seems to be a turning spot there, a pivot, and a pretty strong turnaround on the 4-hour chart. And on the 1-hour chart, it's quite volatile. So now that doesn't seem to be a fantastic spot, but if it were to push into 109.25, 109.30, it could be an interesting bouncing spot, a retest of the trend line for downside back to the bottom of the wedge. And if it breaks through 108.50, even further, as I mentioned, down to 107.75. If it breaks that down to 107, and then if it breaks that all the way down to 106. So step by step, it might work its way through. That target is not going to be reached in 1, 2, 3 this week, I think. That will take some time. That if it does go to 106, and it could take a week or two, or we'll have to see exactly as it develops, of course. But that's a pip. That's a target that's 300 pips away from now. That will take its time, obviously. But those nearby targets like 108.50 and 107.75, of course, can be reached much sooner. Today's Thursday, maybe not this week, but perhaps next week. I think that if it doesn't make a retest of 109.25 area, it's not a great spot because it's kind of, if it continues to fall, it's in the middle of nowhere. In my view, a bit tricky to chase it. So might as well wait for price to test this level. If there's a bear flag, that would be nice for a break. If there's an ABC bounce, maybe a retest of these previous lows could happen. So there could be a move down, a bounce, and a continuation. If there's a strong bounce, it could theoretically bounce all the way back to that resistance trend line. Could happen. So it depends on how it bounces. Is it mild, a flag, a triangle, a channel? That all matters. Or if it's very impulsive, it could go higher. If it bounces like this up, then of course there's maybe more chance for price to do this all the way back to that resistance trend line. But so yeah, that's my view on the euro dollar at the moment. Pound USD. We had this sideways channel. It did break above it, but the question is this a true breakout or a false breakout? Price is back in this sideways move in between these purple lines. and price has kind of retested this bounce back and hasn't broken above that 128 level. So I would really need to see a break above 128 again, a re-break of that, because if it re-breaks again, that would change perspectives, of course, to make this more likely that the breakout to the upside, the bullish break is going to take place. At this moment, it doesn't seem that likely. In fact, it got rejected at that level and it's moving down again. Um, And I would say the same thing as your dollar almost. It's closer to potential support than the euro dollar. So either it makes a bear flag and breaks. That would be interesting space, potential space here down to 125.30. Although there's a lot of sideways price action here, it could make that fall to the bottom of this channel, this trend line. Uh, Ultimately, if it bounces strongly, it might retest the 127.50, 127.75 zone or 128, and then bounce again, maybe a double top there. So if it keeps moving like this, like that, and again it makes a higher low, it could also be an ascending wedge. Then it might finally break to the upside. Okay, but I would need to see this type of pattern, chart pattern, with more higher lows in the recent time, and maybe three tops or at least a double top, and break above that, and a break accompanied with maybe some a small pullback on a lower time frame for continuation higher. At this moment, though, I would expect that bearish breakout, though, to be a little bit more likely for a move back down to 125, 125.25. And at that point, it's going to have to show its true, eventually, it's going to show its true color. Of course, it could range for a long time. If it does break below 125, there is space to test the previous bottom, and we could put a fib on that swing. Down to these deeper fibs or any of these fibs. And if it breaks to the upside, we still have to keep on this fib. And it could go up to the 88.6 fib at 130. All right. Dollar yen. All right. We had, let's see, a bounce, of course, at the previous highs. Here, if we put a fib from here to here, and it bounced at the 88.6 fib, and made a retracement, a continuation, and now tested the previous top. And it looks like a ascending wedge with price testing the previous highs and lower higher lows, excuse me. This could be a breakout, but now does not seem to be an excellent time for trading that. Could have been a little bit different when price was somewhere down in here. Maybe this triangle could have been interesting. Here, A, B, C, D, E, up, or that's not actually a triangle because this low broke this low. But anyhow, kind of a pattern there, or this sideways move. Those were a little bit more interesting for the breakout. Here, I don't see any particular pattern as yet that is nice to trade. It is at the previous high. I would be a little bit cautious here for trading either direction. I wouldn't do that. But if there's a daily candle that could close above 152 and can close near the high, indicating that the bulls are in control of that daily candle, then I think the next day looking for a trade swing continuation might make some sense, depending on how lower time frames look like. All right, Bitcoin. Bitcoin reached 70, what is it, 74,000, almost $74,000. The high 73,777. Made a retracement all the way down to, I think 60,000 was the low, or close to it. 60, 60,765, and bounced there at the bottom of the 21 EMA. And seems like a spot that we could expect a consolidation. Maybe the uptrend just continues, and I'm totally wrong. That's just my best bet at this moment, that this would be a spot of pause. We could put a fib to see what kind of levels might be respected. And it was just a few $100 off the 382 point fib. Maybe if we use this swing, it was more at the 38.2 fib. So I think there's some kind of maybe some triangle pattern, or it cannot be a bull flag anymore because this retracement was a little bit too deep for that. Unless we use a different swing, maybe like this. And then in respect to the 23.6 fib, could still be a bull flag if we get a lower high here that's close to the top, and then we get a slightly lower low, and you get this kind of formation like that going on, like this. And then eventually you can reach a 38.2 fib as well at 55,000. And after it makes a consolidation like that, it might retrace back to the 21 EMA zone of the weekly chart, which could be a bouncing spot for a trend continuation. Once again, I don't know if this type of consolidation will happen or not. That's just my best bet at this point. It would be interesting, I think, to trade it from 55 if it gets down there, because that would probably be wave 4 after an impulsive wave 3, which would typically indicate there's room for at least one more wave 5 to the upside, if not more wave 5. So that could be an interesting move and bounce from 55 to higher targets, maybe as far as 87 or to 100,000. If it doesn't make the retracement, but for whatever reason the uptrend continues, yeah, I'm not sure how interesting it is in that spot, but I would probably need to see a weekly candle close and break and close above this high of last week. And only some swing trades might be possible, I think, because there's good momentum, but this momentum might fade away at one point. Profit taking might take place. It's a vulnerable moment. Don't get me wrong; it could push more than anyone thinks, right away, right now, without looking back. So some swing trades, if it does break and close above it, could from that perspective make sense. But I think we got to be on guard, at least I believe, it's for those price movements that show that the uptrend is bullish momentum is running out of steam at these higher levels, and finally a larger retracement could take place. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that this retracement, if a retracement does take place, eventually I think a retracement will take place, but that retracement doesn't indicate the end of an uptrend in my view as yet. I don't see any particular reasons of chart analysis or chart patterns to indicate that at this moment. Gold. Yeah, same thing as Bitcoin, maybe not as bullish, but bullish. Breaking above these quadruple tops after higher lows. So it's going towards targets as expected. Even breaking above resistance trend lines like that. This monthly candle will be interesting to see how it closes. 2 weeks ago, we had a very nice bullish breakout. Weekly candle, monthly candle will still be interesting to view. Regarding the fibs, let's take a look at target. We had a 50 fib bounce. This could be a wave 1, 2. Wave 3, ABC within wave 4, bouncing off the 50 fib. So 1, ABC wave 2, 3, ABC wave 4. This could be wave 5. This could be a wave 3 of 5, because if we look at the weekly chart, we see some good momentum here. So this could be wave 1, 2, 3. If that's the case, wave 3 should be at least equal to wave 1. If that's the case, wave 1 was about $470, quickly calculated. So in that case, we come out at 2,280 as the minimum target, but typically more, of course. And price could go, I think, further than that. Minus 270 target at 23.25. And I think this minus 61.8 target could be up at close to around 2,600. So bullish so far. And I think lower time frames, retracements, or patterns like this would have been a very nice flag or falling wedge on the hourly chart, or 4-hour chart, excuse me. These are fine things to, I think, to look for. 23.6 foot bounce. The break showed a very nice move to the upside. So these types of patterns are nothing wrong with that in my view. Here, breakout 2. So that makes sense on lower time frames, I think. Of course, there are, nothing goes straight forever. So here too, some retracements eventually could take place, but I think shallow fibs should do the trick because we're probably looking at a wave 3, so I don't expect much retracement. Gas below 2, Ethereum bouncing off 4,000 level. Could see quite a steep retracement, could see the same perspective maybe with some retracement going on here on Ethereum. It looks a bit more impulsive, the bearish momentum. So if Bitcoin does make a bull flag, this might make a retracement, a deeper retracement, I suspect, looking at this chart at least. Regarding the stock markets, we're looking at a test of 40,000. As I said, it's a key level. If it breaks above that, certainly not a bearish correction anymore. I guess that doesn't seem likely at this point because this is quite strong momentum. And we seem to be breaking above the double top with a clear daily candle yesterday, closing and breaking above that daily top, double top, excuse me. So more bullishness from that 39,000, at least towards what seems to be the next round level is 40,000. So lower time frames maybe might make sense. Some bull flag, excuse me, a continuation towards that target. And on higher time frames, I think a deeper retracement, well, maybe deep retracement is not the best choice of words, but some retracement towards 39,000 again after it hits 40,000, and then probably a bounce at around 39 could make sense in my view for the US30 chart. All right, same thing for DAX in a channel to the upside. Slightly lower momentum with this push up and retesting an interesting zone here, I think, with the tops and the bottom of the channel close by. So I would probably expect some bounce, but then followed by one more correction down to the bottom of that channel, which could be a good moment for an uptrend continuation there. Okay. That's about it, folks. Thank you for joining us today. I hope everyone has good trading once again. Feel free to join our flagship. All right. And wish everyone great trading. Cheers. Bye-bye.